Hello, and welcome back to Danganronpa Another. On our last episode, we got both of our victims. As you can see, one of them is right next to me. Very sad for Mr. Yamaguchi here. And Kanata, who I'm more upset about than him. He didn't do much for me. Like, he was a nice guy, but he just kind of was there. And now we're going to be starting the investigation. I imagine that this will take the entire episode. Maybe even 2 episodes if it's a really long investigation, which it might be because it's 2 bodies, who knows. And with that being said, I think we should just get into it. Huh? What is this blood spot? Right next to me is Yamaguchi, whose blood goes all around the library. It's not that strange that there would be blood spots in the library. Following this idea, but this blood spot looked kind of different. It's the only one away from Yamaguchi's corpse. This blood spot is. Hey Maida, what are you doing sitting on the floor? Oh, Kabashikawa, do you know where this blood stain came from? Oh right, that's where Kinjo fell. This is the place you found him? Well, when we entered the library, Yamaguchi was there, as you can see it, and Kinjo was. Lying in that position and unconscious. You didn't know because you didn't see Kinjo here. That's right. I heard that Kinjo was struck in the head and bleeding, but you mean he spilled this much blood? I thought it was a joke. Otori had a disinfectant bandage him, so it's okay for now. But at first, I thought he was really dead. Kinjo was lying in this position, and I can't imagine that Kinjo knocked down someone else's head in the back. When and how did the killer attack Kinjo to stun him? And if it's enough to make you bleed this much, why did they stop with only that? Yamaguchi and Inori were the only ones who were killed, even though there was an obvious malice behind it. The fact that a blackened can kill up to 2 people, since it was added later, as a rule, the criminal wouldn't know about this. Kinjo wakes up, I should ask him. Kinjo attack has been added to the truth bullet section. It's a huge blood trace from Yamaguchi's body to the library door. Was this all Yamaguchi's blood? There's something wrong with this. It's a terrible amount to look at, but I've seen a situation similar to this. It was dark back then, so I couldn't see well. Tamori shed such tremendous amounts of blood and died. However, there are more from Yamaguchi's in terms of quantity, because this blood leads all the way to the corridor. There's also this in Tamori's case. There were 2 wounds, one on the neck and the other in the stomach. It was also discovered several hours after death, so it was already bleeding. Less than an hour after death, and no matter how deeply you were injured, can this amount of blood come out of your neck? Not only that, the shape of the blood is also a little strange. The shape looks like as if the body of Yamaguchi was brought into the library from outside, or like they dragged him. I'll check this out for a bit. Huh? When I slightly lifted Yamaguchi's body and looked at the floor where he was lying down, I immediately felt a sense of discomfort. If the corpse was brought from outside, there should be no blood under Yamaguchi's corpse. But that's what I see here. Blood spots are also over Yamaguchi's body. Thanks to that, Yamaguchi's stomach and chest were wet with blood. The shape of the bleeding itself certainly feels like dragging the corpse to the floor from the outside. If so, there can be no blood left under the corpse like this. No, before that. If there is blood under the body, it means that there was blood here before Yamaguchi fell. Is that right, though? However, Inori didn't really seem to have bled. Then this blood must be Yamaguchi's. I don't really know, but I noticed something strange about the situation with the blood seen in the library and Yamaguchi's body. I'll mark it down and discuss it with the others at the class trial. Library bloodbath. No, wrong button.
Killing 2 people at the same time? How heinous is this person, this killer? Well, of course it's not me, don't doubt it.
I don't think it's you. Damn it, Yamaguchi and Inori were dead. I couldn't even say goodbye. Even so, we have to survive for them. Okay, let's do some more research. There may be something in the bookshelf. So leave this place to me. Okay. Ah, Korean. It's okay, we already looked at the Monokuma file, I believe. Have we looked at the actual body yet? Or just the blood trail? Ugh. Don't think we looked at the body yet. Yamaguchi's corpse stretches loosely on the floor of the library. In contrast to his sloppy body, it was droopy, his pupils were loose, and he felt empty. This is a man's death. I've seen it many times already. Real people dying. Yamaguchi, you were the one we talked to just yesterday. Yeah, he broke up that fight. He was like, hey, stop fighting. There's no time to be sad. Even for Yamaguchi, we must find out who made him like this. I've decided to investigate Yamaguchi's body. I felt something hard and cold. According to the Monokuma file, it said that he was cut off by something sharp. Indeed, there's a terrible wound that I could see with my eyes open. Yamaguchi's neck was completely cut out from the back neck to the front, but it was surprising that it wasn't cut completely, but barely a piece of flesh was left attached. I put up with the nausea that came up and looked at the wound. I heard that the injured area is ravenously torn by something, like a knife or a tool that's usually roughened. But in Yamaguchi's case, it was cut neatly as if you were cutting paper with a cutter knife. So is he like almost decapitated is what they're implying? Like his head is just like barely hanging on? Oh, that's disgusting. And that's very painful. Ugh, I can't see anymore. So terrible. Poor Yamaguchi spilling a lot of blood. Like Tamori. Huh? As my stomach was shaking inside, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. Surely blood in the library is no joke. It ran from the corridor to the body of Yamaguchi, and it was also protruding from Yamaguchi's body. Yamaguchi's neck doesn't bleed anymore. Looking at the Monokuma file, it said that there were no other visible traumas other than neck wound. Then this tremendous amount of blood flows from the neck only. Yamaguchi's time of death is 8:40. From this wound, immediate death is certain, so even if the wound started bleeding from then, it has not yet passed even an hour. But why is the blood no longer flowing out from his throat? When I recall the words of Inori, who is no longer here, it seems that after the heart stops, the blood circulation also stops. If so, in this case of immediate death, the blood should flow even less. But isn't it too early? In a similar case, when I investigated Tamori's corpse, there was little blood coming out from her. However, in contrast, Yamaguchi's body looked very dry already. It's been less than an hour since the blood is spilled, but the blood already dried up? I knew something was wrong, but there was no way to think about it anymore because there wasn't Inori or Kinjo who had a professional insight on these moments. Inori can't speak to us anymore, but Kinjo is still alive. I should ask him if he wakes up. Yamaguchi's body's been added. Nothing awesome here. It's a huge blood trace from Yamaguchi's body to the library door. Is this all Yamaguchi's blood? What if some of it was like from the infirmary? Like I was suggesting Uehara had faked his injury with. Oh, he could have also faked his injury just taking Yamaguchi's blood since there's so much. That's really gross when I think about it. I just think I got everything in here. I can't investigate this blood right here. No, don't go in. Get out. Hello, Akane. Oh, Maida. Tara, what are you doing? Is there something in the hallway?
Well, that's not exactly right. The smell of blood is still there, and as I keep looking at the body, I just get sick of it.
Oh, that. Are you okay? You don't have to overdo it.
Oh no, everyone is working hard. I can't be the exception. The class trial will start soon.
It's all right. Then why don't you answer a few questions for me, Tyra?
Oh, you want to ask me something?
Yes. When Kurokawa, Uehara, and I went to investigate the third floor, would you like to tell me what happened on the second floor at that time? Yeah, she should know about that, at least. Almost at the same time the BDA rang, Kinjo fainted. It's full of holes that my own eyes didn't see.
Oh, okay, I can help in this. That's simple enough. But there's not much to tell. We Maida-kun were shaken when we found the body. And then we started investigating.
Okay.
I don't know if this has anything to do with the case, Maidakin, but there's something I'm a little confused about. Is it okay to say it? Sure, what's that? Kaja-chan, you said you found her in the science lab, right? But I stopped by the science lab just before nighttime yesterday, too. However, at that time, the door was locked, too. Huh? The door to the science lab was locked? Yes. Do you think it's related to the case? It's true the door didn't open even when we found Inori's body. It was blocked with something like a clasp. Even so, she said the door was already closed before nighttime began yesterday? I think I'll take it for reference. Thank you, Tyra. Well, was I helpful? I'm glad then. Oh, by the way, why did you go to the science lab just before nighttime yesterday? Oh, that was because last night I did a bit of mincemeat in it. When I tried to use the scissors on my wrist. Oh, were there scissors in the science lab? Yeah, I wasn't sane back then yesterday, so I went to the science lab to pick up the scissors. I understand. I get it now. Thanks, Tyra. Before nighttime yesterday, the science lab was already closed. What's that mean? I'll have to check it out. Tyra's testimony has been added. Hello, I think you're guilty. Uehara, is your body okay? Don't overdo it so much. No, it's not a deep wound, so do not mind it. By the way, have you seen the cell phone? Cell phone? You mean Maki's cell phone that you found on the 3rd floor? I thought Uehara was keeping it. Yeah, I always kept it in my top pocket because I didn't know if I would need it, but now I realize that the phone is gone. It disappeared. When was the last time you checked for the cell phone? It was at least yesterday at night that I recall having it, but after my fainting, it was gone. Then that means the killer probably took it. That is a sinister premonition, but I'd agree. However, the cell phone doesn't seem important right now because first we have to investigate. I wonder where did that cell phone go? Oh my god, it is flooded! Should I maybe go all the way around? No, I can't. I don't know if it's safe to go in the water. Yeah. I inadvertently tried to walk towards the science lab, but I was surprised because now the water from it was filling the corridor. The water is still leaking from the science lab? It won't matter if I just go in, but from what Mekuru warned me about before, it gives me something to be cautious of. I shouldn't step in this water. Hey, incompetent! Get out of the way quickly, you're obstructing the traffic. Oh, Mekuru, you came here, but this water? Are you still talking? Would you get out of the way already? But Mekuru, you said we shouldn't touch the water a while ago. Why are you doing this? And if you are going there, wouldn't it be dangerous to enter there? It's fine to enter now, so feel free to go in. I've spoken to Monokuma earlier to put it away. Put it away? You'll know when you enter the science lab. Still, no one seems to be turning off the faucet. You guys really don't have a clue, do you? You don't even have Tsurugi Kinjo anymore. Put what away? The faucet? For the love of God, would you look directly with your own 2 eyes and think in your head? At least, it would be nice if I could tell you everything, huh? There's no point in being so irritating. Well, since Mekuru said that it's safe to walk in the water, I should be confident now. Like Mekuru said, let's see what happened with my own eyes. Oh, goodness. An object next to Inori's body. It's the Monokuma file 3.2, brought by that thing. Information about Inori should be written in it. The victim is Kanata Inori. The estimated time of death is about 8:35. The body was found in the science lab. The cause of death is electric shock. The body's internal organs have been burned through the wet body because of an electric current for a long time while being bound. Ow. Terrible. Not a drop of blood was shed, and yet this is the most terrible someone has done to a friend. Doing this to Inori, who is the smallest and weakest among us? The culprit behind this. It's fair to say that we are distressed to have to doubt another friend against our will, but at this very moment, the undeniable anger that I feel has risen against this perpetrator, who I don't know who they are yet.
It's different from Yamaguchi. He was presumed to have been killed by his neck with one blow, but in Nora's case, she was just a victim that was killed in front of her very own eyes. A few minutes ago, with a single wall in between the door of the science lab, I heard her scream, her pain, her cries, her agony, very clearly. I can't help but feel this anger, but it won't make any difference. Since it's just a Monokuma file that gives me information, I'll have to make use of this. But this alone is not enough information. From what can be deduced, as of now, is the time of death was 8:35. She died 5 minutes earlier than Yamaguchi. Around that time, we couldn't open the science lab room. We were just outside of the room. There's no problem with the time at least. But killing 2 people directly in 5 minutes? At that time, we were walking between the 2nd and 3rd floors, so if we go back and forth between the areas, it would definitely stand out. How could the killer murder 2 people with only 5 minutes for each? Monokuma file 3-2 has been added. Is this so I can't investigate anywhere else? Is there anything else in here? No. Oh, I can go this way. Okay. What is this thing then that's blocking me? What's this? A wooden stick-like object was floating on the water-filled science lab floor. Oh, that's right. When the science lab's door didn't open, it was because of this thing. The mecha room moved to open the door. When we found Inori's body, we had a hard time because the door of the science room could not be opened. But it seems that the killer used this object to block the door. When I picked it up and checked, it was close. It was an ordinary wooden stick, but it was very thick, so it would be natural if the sliding door was blocked with something like this. When I looked at the back of the door, I saw a space where a wooden board could fit in. If it is closed while standing behind the door, then the closed room scenario would naturally be completed. However, what was the reason for the killer to make a closed room? Reason to lock the room. I'll keep it in mind. Board. This is one of the tables in the science lab, and the faucet allows you to throw away medicines or wash your hands during experiments. But now water is pouring out of the faucet at maximum capacity and it's overflowing. Right, the reason why the science lab was flooded like this was because of the faucet. What a huge waste of water, but now it's not the time to think about this. I hurriedly turned the faucet and the water stopped flowing. Well, there's no reason for the water to fill anything now. Also, this must have been done by the killer too. But what was the reason? The reason to make this science lab a sea of water? Oof, that is hard to look at. I was seeing Inori's body sinking in the water. It seemed like she was in tears. We're investigating the bodies of some of our dead friends with no time to grieve. However, without investigation, the killer has to be identified. In order to survive the class trial, I must investigate. For now, I decided to look at the body of Inori based on what was written in the Monokuma file. Inori's body was so terrible that you couldn't see it with your eyes open, but for now, all of her clothes and skin were burnt. Her whole body was fixed with several layers of box tape, and her hands were tied with ropes and hung from the table. Inori, in this state of being unable to move, suffered terrible pain and died. Damn it. I continued investigating while my swearings reached hollow ears. The tools that were used on Inori, I remember seeing box tapes and ropes in the art room. It seems for whatever reason, the art room is a place related to the incident. Other than that, I can only think of the fact that the faucet where she's tied up to is the same table, and there's many miscellaneous tools around us. But do they have anything to do with the case? The box tape was tightly attached in her shoulders, 5 layers. Even a strong adult man would make it impossible to tear off with their own strength. And also, it must have been even harder for Inori, who was small in size, to move. Was there any reason to tie Inori to this extent? Just the killer's idea? Would that be it? Looking at it that way, Inori's also been in the infirmary after it was open. Maybe there's a clue in that place too. Blood bags. Blood bags to fake the wound and for the excessive blood. I'm telling you, I'm calling it. If I'm wrong, you can make fun of me, it's okay. What is this thing? Oh, is it the phone? Deep in the water pool of the science lab, I saw something that I had seen somewhere before. This was Maki's mobile phone? Probably. The cell phone that Uehara discovered on the first day when the 3rd floor was opened. I haven't seen any of their phones, so Maki's would be the only one left. Why is the cell phone in this place? I looked up at the sides, wondering, but as soon as I saw the screen, I noticed that this phone was not in normal condition. Wait, why is the screen like this? The phone screen was crumpled with a mixture of purple and pink. The clock was turned into a strange language rather than numbers. And the buttons weren't fit properly. To simply put it in Word, it's broken. Well, it's only natural because it was underwater. I couldn't hide my disappointment, hoping that I might be able to fix this phone and get in touch with the outside world later on. No, right now the class trial should be the main priority. Anyway, does this mean that the mobile phone was used as some kind of tool for the incident related to this case? Thinking it that way, I fiddled with the phone a little more. I noticed a small alarm indicator at the top of the screen. The alarm was set to 8:30, but now it's already off. Who set the alarm? Besides, at 8:30, this was just before we tried to open the science lab door. As I pondered, it's very likely the phone was involved in the incident, because it was not only that, there was another tool attached to the phone's strap. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this could be... The object connected to the cell phone strap was something I've seen in cartoons and movies. An electric shocker? I think this was also called a stun gun. Why are these dangerous objects at school? No, it seems like they were in the storage room of the science lab, but it's right. Now I can understand what Mekaru said, probably because the stun gun was using its power in the water pit. If it entered in that state, there's a high chance that we would have gotten electrocuted. But it now seems that it's not working. This was also because Mekaru told Monokuma to put it away. More importantly than that, is that this is far from a crime scene. According to the Monokuma file, Inori's death was caused by electrocution. So it's probably definitive that this was most likely the murder weapon. So the timer on the phone, it was like an alarm basically to somehow trigger the stun gun to go off and kill her so that he could be outside when she died and have an alibi, I believe. I don't know how she got in there. I don't know what she was doing in there. I don't know how Yamaguchi connects to this, but I'm pretty sure that's the case with the phone. But reason does it have to be connected to the phone strap? Also, that's not the only weird thing. If you think about this, if the weapon was a stun gun, it means the killer struck Inori with this object. But then contradictions show up, such as a locked room scenario in the science lab and the crime that was done to Yamaguchi. No, there's nothing that suggests that the killer can only attack directly to their victim. Maybe making the science lab out of water like this was to prepare an effective crime scene. If electricity goes on while you're immersed in water, you're in a danger zone. The rest to figure out would be how the killer made the water to be energized and what method did they use. I'll have to speak about this with the others. You didn't follow me, did you? At least you listened when you came in here. You know now the reason why I told you not to touch the water and why this place became a pool of water. Yeah, but Mekaru, I wanted to ask you something different from this. What do you think I'll answer? I'm serious here. I really have a question. It was when you were in the art room locker. You asked me to show you my hand as soon as you left the locker, right? Why did you do that? I won't answer that, however. This is just simple safety. No matter what happens, the only thing that lives on is insurance. It is the minimal precaution that's needed. Insurance? The two of us aren't close enough to explain every phrase to you, am I right? Well, don't worry. The psycho cop won't be able to serve you this time, so you should have an insurance at least. And you guys feel so clueless that you got no other way to go and are on the verge of death. If this aspect shows up in the trial, then I'll show you my last trump card. So please make sure that doesn't happen. Mekaru began to investigate Inori's body again, leaving only an empty silence in the end. It's the moment that she will no longer speak. At the time, Mekaru had to make sure to give her my right hand. I took a look at my right hand, but there wasn't anything there. Is there something only Mekaru knows? Whose testimony has been out? Okay, I think I'm good for this room. To the art room! Is this the art room? Yes. Hello, best girl!
Hi, Aoki. The hallway is a water bath and the art room is full of bloody lockers. Why is everything so bad?
It seems to be the culprit, this time, planned the crime by going from place to place.
That's a very intelligent killer. I wonder if Satsuki can win. I got such a mighty opponent. I'm a little worried.
Aw. You got this, baby girl. It's the trash can. The trash can that was the reason for the locker movement.
Huh? I wondered if there might be something here too, and I inadvertently looked at the trash can and was surprised to find something. I thought it was tissue paper, but looking closely, it looks like a type of cloth. I took out the unidentified piece of cloth from the trash and opened it. Let's see. Are these clothes? No, it's not just clothes. This is... no way. Yes, they were indeed blood-soaked in that it was difficult to recognize the original color, but the pure white color that looked at a glance reminded me that this was originally a white gown worn by doctors. This white coat is what Nori was wearing. When I think about it, Inori's body that I saw in the science lab was not wearing a white coat. To think I would find it in such an unexpected place. No. In fact, it may not be so unexpected. The place where the corpses were found are the science lab and the library. But the art room is pretty close to the area of the incident. The locker where Mekaru was found is the same. This white coat, it seems to be the blood from the coat has been there for some time since it didn't feel wet at all. The question is, where did the killer use this white coat? For starters, Inori didn't seem to have any bleeding, so maybe it was used while killing Yamaguchi? No, it can't be. It's too dry to be from Yamaguchi's blood. I thought it would be an important clue, so I was able to make a new discovery while investigating every corner of the white coat. In the pocket of the white coat, I found a crumpled plastic wrap. When I opened it carefully, I could see that it was blood-stained. The locker, library floor, white coat, and there's too many blood-related clues. What even happened here? Also, when I take a look closely, the plastic wrap has a small round hole in the middle, but the meaning was unknown. I guess I'll have to talk about it in the trial. It's possible it was used to prevent blood, but... wrapping a plastic for the sake of... would it have anything to do with the clues we found? Bloody white coat. Bloody tarp. No. Huh? The plaster weapon, was it originally here? I thought it was against the plaster on the right. I don't come to the art room often, so I'm not sure about this. I don't know, it's probably just an illusion. The moment I tried to make that judgment and move my steps, I saw the red spot. The spear, is this blood? Oh, I see. He covered up the spear with the plastic wrap so that it wouldn't look like the murder weapon and it would be easy to clean. But there was a hole in it and that's how it got on there. It wasn't very notable, but there was a circular red dot on the tip of the lawn blade. I picked up the spear and smelled that part. A faint but fishy smell. This is blood. Fishy? Blood doesn't smell like fish. Why did you just say, oh, it smells like iron? I guess the weapons are plaster. The weapons aren't even iron, so yeah. Whose blood are you smelling? Blood does not smell like that. That's gross. The weapon that killed Yamaguchi was something long and sharp. If it's long, this might fit for the murder weapon. After using it to kill Yamaguchi, it was returned back to the same place where it was originally, but the location was different because the killer was mistaken? Looking at the blood on it, it must be something related to the case somehow. But why is the blood so tiny-sized and in a circular splatter? It was so tiny that I almost missed it. Did it make a small bounce from this? No, that would not have caused the blood to splatter in the first place. I don't think I can figure it out yet. The thing you just touched with the tiny hole! That's what it was covering it, and that's why it's that exact shape. You're stupid, Yuki. You're stupid. Ugh. Just double check. Yeah, the locker. I'm like, there has to be something for the locker, too. It's a locker that contained miscellaneous art tools, but now the inside is covered with blood in a terrible condition. Mekaru is bound like this, in this bloody locker. At that time, Mekaru's arms and legs were tied with tape, and her mouth was taped as well. She was locked from the outside and hit the door of the locker from the inside to try and get out, and the result was the rumbling sound that echoed in the second floor. And the killer did all of this, right? Apparently, the culprit trapped her here for some reason, otherwise if you did all of this to yourself, it would only create more suspicion. Not only Mekaru, the attack on Uehara and Kinjo must have their reason as well. But the bigger issue is this bloody locker? Think about it.
Yamaguchi Orinori's body doesn't seem to be related to the art room. However, what does the blood in the locker suggest? No matter who it's from, it's pretty difficult not to miss it. The blood is also dried up. Inori didn't seem to have any bleeding, yet Maguchi instead had too much bleeding. But he died not too long ago, and Mekaru was also tied here, but she was not bleeding. If that's the case, it could be Kinjo's blood. It's my only guess, but Kinjo got hit on his head. If this amount comes from his head, wouldn't he have died? Yeah. Blood bags in the infirmary, that's what I'm telling you. This blood's identity is troublesome, but in more ways than one. I have no choice but to discuss it at the class trial. Oh, you locker, okay. Is it on the first floor, I believe? Ah. Hello. Kurikawa, you came down to the first floor. Did you figure out something? Kurikawa. Originally, Kurikawa was always to come out without a word. But now it looks like she's cautious. Is it because of the mood? I don't think she's open to talk for now, so I decided to leave it alone. Let's continue investigating. Oh, no, that's the room with the TVs, or the computer screens. Is it here or is it the antique room? Yeah, it is here. Oh no! Blood bags, they're gonna be here. The refrigerator is the place to store transfusion packs, individually stored for each blood type. I was surprised when I opened the refrigerator. Huh? No way. We don't have any transfusion packs. Boom! I called that last episode. I freaking called that. I told you they did that in the first game. That's what happened. I'm so smart. There are no more than 20 transfusion packs left last time I saw them. Who used a transfusion pack recently? The killer. No, where would you even use a blood transfusion pack? To put blood everywhere and to fake an injury. Let's think for a moment. When did the packs disappear? I recall them being stored properly until at least yesterday. Then that leaves, was that the killer's doing? But even if the culprit is the one, why did they need to take a transfusion pack? Do they even need fresh blood? Yes. I feel like how Mekaru probably felt in the other cases when she knew it and everyone else was like, no, he's right there, I didn't investigate him yet. No, I didn't investigate Tsurugi yet. I was saving him for last. Oh, I'm so angry right now. I hate when it does that. Okay, well, we have everything we need to know. I should have done him first, but I was so eager to prove my point and be right. Okay, I think we're almost done by now. But the culprit is still a mystery, damn it. I know who it is. Maybe more investigation is required. Monokuma hasn't called yet, so let's continue. Oh my god. Where did you come from? Okay. Jump scare. Kinjo, you're awake? Maida. Are you okay? What about your bandages? It wasn't a thin wound from what I heard. Now, it's not the time to bother about that. Maida, did a murder happen? Yeah, just a little while ago. The class trial will begin soon. Kinjo, I'm glad you woke up. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to relax. I have to see the scene of the case before the trial starts. Maida, did you do some research? Do you know where the scene is? Yes, you should start with the library science lab, the art room, and the infirmary. Okay, thanks. Kinjo, wait a minute. What's wrong? I'm sorry, but like I said before, I didn't have much time right now. If I go to the trial without knowing what the case is, it's over. I'll talk to you later. But what I'm trying to ask you right now is related to the investigation. It's okay if it's simple, right? So please answer me. How the hell did you pass out? I saw bloody Yamaguchi. Huh? I saw blood coming out of the library, so I went to investigate. Yamaguchi was collapsed on the floor in blood. No matter how much I see corpses, I couldn't hide my surprise. Taking that little pause as the chance someone attacked me from behind. I don't have any memories after that. Wait, you're talking about yesterday at nighttime, right? Yeah. What I mean is Yamaguchi was lying on the floor all bloody since yesterday at night? Correct. If you walk around the scene right away, you'll notice it. So Yamaguchi, He's dead, right? Yeah. Not only Yamaguchi, Inori also died. What? Inori too? The culprit in this case is not a simple person. They're a heinous mind that killed 2 people in a single day. This damned asshole! I'll definitely catch this bean and punish them. You should go and do some more research for that too, so I'll leave now, Maida. This is actually good though. Kendra managed to wake up. Will he be okay? Time's already... Oh right, and what Kendra said was somewhat weird. Kendra mentioned that he saw Yamaguchi collapsed, but Yamaguchi's time of death is around morning hours, so was he unconscious until the killer showed up again? Bloodied and abandoned until the morning after. No miracles like Tamori. It didn't happen twice. Still, what Kendra has said would be a clue to something, so it's good to put that into notice. His testimony. The more I investigate something, the more the mystery seems to get deeper. Kendra didn't even make it to where he was looking in before the time was up. He was like, finally, I'm here. Time to look. And they're like, no, you gotta go to the trial, buddy. Oh, you guys, sorry that you had to work so hard on your research. However, Mr. Monokuma here is impatient, so why don't we just solve this together? That said, class trial will now begin. Please gather up at the red quick door. On the first floor, as usual. What kind of results will be waiting for us in this trial? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it thrilling? I'll be waiting. Time's up. But what about Kinjo? He just started investigating, but now they're already gathering. It was a big misfortune that he was lying down because he passed out. Even without Kinjo's help, we'll have to work together. Even if I think about it, I haven't even figured out the crime scene properly yet. Damn it. This won't make a difference if I stay here. If I'm late, I'll get punished. Let's just go. Upon entering the entrance of the court, most of the guys were already gathered. Maida-kun, you're here. Are you the last one? Then did Kinjo never manage to open his eyes? What do you mean? Kinjo isn't here. Well, what are you talking about? Did Kinjo wake up? I met with Kinjo just before I got here. Is that true? Thank goodness Kinjo woke up. But I can't see him. It's a matter of language to not have a class trial without properly investigating on his own personality. But however, it's time for the meeting, but he's late because he wants to investigate as much as possible, isn't that so? That's so like Kinjo indeed. No way. But what if Kinjo's the culprit in this case? Why is this nonsense deja vu again? Teruya, are you just saying that because they're late? Think about it and tell me. Why not? It could happen, right? What? Kinjo can be the culprit? Wouldn't it be more fun then? Seiko Cop finally goes to murder with their own hands. Liquid agrees with my opinion for once, so it wouldn't be strange if the universe explodes. Strangely, that's more scary when Makaru says it. What do you enjoy so much about this, Makaru? Did you forget? In the class trial, you could die. I had hoped that you would change at least a little, but you're still the same as ever. Because I know the killer and the trick even before going to the trial. All that's left is to watch them shovel their grave, right? Huh? You already know who the killer is? Who is it? Why should I tell you, idiots? Don't worry, I'll watch you shoveling and struggling. I'm not sure if I should say this, but this is the first time I ever thought about wanting to hit a woman this much. By the way, where's Kinjo? He's late. Alright, are you all gathered? Good then, let's get started. As always, just take the elevator, go down. The trial design has been remodeled, so look forward to it. But Kinjo's not here. Oh, Kinjo's not here? Kinjo-kun was given a special time bonus due to his fainting condition. Is what I want to say, but since he woke up and started investigating the case, it's presumed that they're going to participate in the class trial, so this is my mistake. He won't get punished, but I'll bring him shortly. Yay, supersonic speed! Here he is. Ah! Hey, what kind of supersonic speed is this? No, it's just that when I was about to search for him, he was already at the door. Kinjo-kun, sure as obedient. You came and I didn't even need to call you. Shut up and disappear before my eyes already. Kinjo, are you okay? Well, I did as much investigation as possible. Compared to the previous cases, the amount of information is extremely insufficient, but... No, I asked if you were okay, since you got hurt. Oh, you mean my body? Well, it's fine. I've experienced these neck injuries even once or twice with this nature. Hey, it's been a long time, hasn't it, Kinjo? I didn't expect to see you bleeding and fainting. I think you're forgetting something. I'm a human being too, so I got caught off guard. Why did you get a little fed up with us, Kinjo? Clearly last time you left the dining room, I thought you were breaking our bones or something like that. Of course I did. That still hasn't changed, but in the conditional situation of the class trial, your charges of being preliminary criminals are revoked for the time being. The criminal analogy is that the more the manpower there is, the better, and because a murder has occurred, the rest of the criminals other than the criminal of this incident are simply ordinary citizens in this scenario. Kabashi Kawa was making a list of swearing words to give a double comeback to Kinjo once he woke up. What? Hey, I never did that. She's so funny. I love her. Do whatever you like. This is a temporary truce anyways. After this trial, you'll become a preliminary criminal once more. Of course, Akane Taira is an exception. I'm always thinking of you as a semi-criminal. One that committed attempted murder, so don't even think you're innocent in the least. The crazy guy started having seizures again. Taira, don't bother with what that waste of a man says. Excuse me? He is not a waste of a man. You're the weirdo who wants to look at naked girls. Okay. You're the waste of a man, Kabashikawa. Maki died. We were thoroughly fighting with each other. It's as difficult a class trial as ever, if we have to work together. Something gave me an odd feeling like this would be an even harder trial than any other I ever faced. That's enough talking. Anyways, we're starting the trial, right? Let's get on with it already. Indeed. The first thing we must do now is solve what's in front of us. It's not good for everyone to be on edge this early. Yeah, Mecca and Uehara are right. If we do not pass the class trial first, we will all die. Relationships with the others, conflicts with Kinjo, there are many problems ahead. I want to solve them, but first, the biggest one? Let's begin our class trial. If we don't take care of it, nothing will change in the end. I gotta talk to everyone first. I was insane for the most part after Ayame-chan was executed, so I couldn't talk much to those two. I'm so sorry, Kanata-chan. Really sorry, Yamaguchi-chan. Ugh, coming here again and again. Now just smelling this place seems more disgusting. Damn it! Killing two people at once? This is the worst. It's the worst feeling ever. I investigated as much as I could. The only thing left to do is deduct the results from yours. What now? Go down there already. I actually really like Mekuru now. Like, she's probably my second favorite of the girls after Satsuki. Like, character ranking at Satsuki, probably Tsurugi, and then honestly probably Mekuru. I really like Uehara. I like Teruya enough. I loved Kanata. I'm really sad about her. I kind of wanted to do her free time events, but that's okay. There's something dangerous about this case, and it seems like it'll be a more complex trial than before. Be on your guard. No, but I think the number of people is a bit shorter. Yeah, no. Oh well. The only thing left to do is this, right? When did we all start disappearing like this? Alright, I know this is probably a shorter episode than normal, but I know if I go down to the trial right now, I'm gonna be recording for like another hour or two, and I don't want to do that. So I am going to stop it here for today. That being said, okay, I think I was on the money about the blood bags. Go me. I think that's have an idea of what happened, sort of. I think, you know, the whole Kanata thing was set up in advance somehow. I know there's a lot of information I'm currently missing that I'm probably going to get from other people in the trial. The only thing I'm not sure about is Yamaguchi. I'm positive that he was murdered with that spear thing with the hole in it. I want to say he wasn't dead when Tsurugi found him. He was maybe unconscious, and the blood bag, that's why that was there, and that's why it's under him. And then maybe he woke up and Uehara, presumably, because I still think it's him, was like, oh, surprise, and stabbed him with a cross, except that's not the weapon. We've agreed on that. But he was just taking him up and he was like, hello, it is my turn to murder now. Interestingly, this is a little bit of a tangent I'm going to go on. A few years ago, my friends and I actually made a fake Danganronpa game with, like, us as characters. And my one friend, Jay's character, was actually a priest. And he was the killer of Chapter 3. And we made, like, a whole fake execution for it. We made sprites and everything. I'll put them on the screen now. And I had a character, too. She was like, the Kamado character. But his character, the execution we decided for him, it was like, since he was a priest, I believe he like got baptized, it was like acid or something, and then they hung him on the cross, I don't remember. This was literally in 2019, like January, so 4 years ago, forever ago, lifetime ago. But yeah, curious if this is going to be anything like that, since, you know, I didn't know this game even existed when we did that. That'd be very ironic though. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and comment and like and do all that fun stuff. It helps support the channel and it helps support me. And I hope you're having a wonderful day or night or whatever time it is, day, where you are. I hope it's wonderful. And I will see you all in the next episode when we start the class trial. Later.